Hello again. Finally, I'm back. Sorry for the brief hiatus. I was just busy with life. But I'm back and I'm gonna do a Murderous Beans video on the Burke and Hare murders. I actually got a comment on one of my old videos regarding to make a video on those. So let's begin. In 1823, and all this I got it from historicuk.com. So in 1823, the Judgment of Death Act made it more difficult for crimes to be punishable by death. Now this meant that medical and anatomy schools were only able to dissect bodies that got sentenced to death. This made an extreme shortage of bodies. Grave robbing for cash became so popular that people whose loved ones just passed, they basically hire overnight security towers so they could check, so there will be no grave robbing or anything, so the body could be intact. And okay, the fresher the body, the more money it was worth, the more money they would get paid from the anatomy schools and all that. Eventually, from grave robbery, it became to anatomy murder. Now, the definition of anatomy murder is murder committed with the sole intention of providing the remains for medical research and attracting a monetary reward. The most infamous were the Burke and Hare murders in Edinburgh between 1827 to 28. William Burke and William Hare came from Ireland, then to Scotland. They met and became good friends. So, what is it? Burke moved in with his mistress Helen McDougall, and Hare lived in the same street, running a boarding house with Margaret Laird. Now, this is where basically they were introduced to anatomy murder. On December 1827, an elderly tenant died of natural causes, but he died still owing £4 in rent. So because of this, both Burke and Hare weighed in his coffin while they were doing the whole funeral service. They took his body down to the Edinburgh University and sold it to the Professor Robert Knox. For the body, they were able to get £7 and 10 shillings, which was quite a lot of money back then. Realizing how easy it was to make money in 1828, they struck again. The tenant became very ill, but being too impatient, they gave him whiskey and then suffocated him. The tenant was pinned down while his nose and mouth stayed covered. So that was basically their first actual murder. So, and also there were no marks made, and this became basically their favorite method of killing. After all that commotion, after everything came to light, it became known as burking, the whole process. Since tenants weren't falling ill anymore, they preyed on Edinburgh's poorest communities like hookers, people that wouldn't be missed. They wouldn't be recognized by the professor or the students either. It said Burke and Hare murdered around 16 people. Each body earned around 7 to 10 pounds. Mary Pattinson, a local prostitute, was murdered and recognized by the students. With greed, no one was safe, and they got sloppy with their work, unfortunately. A body was discovered by a couple. Let me go back. So basically, since they had a boarding house, people would come in and out, and while in the process of killing someone else came into the house, and this couple, they were kind of drawn back how weird they were acting, so they wandered into a room, and that's when they found a body. Helen, Burke's mistress, tried bribing them with 10 euros a week, but they refused and reported to the police. Word must have spread super fast, because by the time the police came to the house, the body was gone. Everything was like clean, like if nothing had happened. Burke and Helen got arrested, then Hare and Margaret, all giving conflicting accounts of what had happened and blaming each other. Police investigation soon led to Knox, a professor, Although they had gathered like a lot of evidence, there wasn't enough for basically to charge anyone. Eventually, Hare was offered immunity if he testified against Burke and Helen. On Christmas Eve of 1828, trial began. Burke was sentenced to death by hanging. The couple were both charged for the murders, but Helen, I believe Helen escaped, if I'm not mistaken. Hare escaped across the border to England. It said that he did not live a good life. He basically died a beggar. Helen and Margaret both fled. No one's clear. They both fled. They both, I think they fled to England as well, but we don't really know what happened to them. And then the Professor Knox, he was basically let go, like if nothing happened. And public outcry basically made him move to England as well and salvage a new medical career. All of this contributed to the making of the Anatomy Act in 1832, which allowed medical schools have greater access to cadavers and lethal donations. So, it is a pretty short video. That's only because I just wanted to bring something out there. I am gonna probably make another video, maybe later on today, who knows. Bye guys.